Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unwind with Teddy this morning. It's Thursday, October 10th. All right. I'm your host, and I hope to bring you a relaxing vibe to kick off your day Whether you are just waking up, getting ready for work, or sipping your morning coffee, this show is designed to help you start your morning feeling refreshed and informed. You see the title, The Clock is Ticking. I'm going to be giving some news updates, maybe a little mix of music, and some election news to help you unwind and start your day. So go ahead, grab that cup of coffee and get comfortable as we get into it. And of course, the biggest news from last night is Hurricane Milton. But before I get into that, let me just make sure sound is good. And again, the delay, there is some noise going on outside. If it becomes very loud again, I will just have to cut to music and, wait until it clears up. So now let me come out to the bear cave. Shout out to the mob. All my other bears I call the grizzlies. Please hit the like on your way in. Fair use commentary as always. This broadcast is for education, criticism, news reporting, and entertainment purposes only. I know it might seem like I spend a lot of time giving disclaimers in my introduction, working on how can I, just cut that even more. All right. People who have been with me for a long time should now understand why. We don't have to get into that. All right, so let me see what I will bring up first. This is fair use commentary. You see there pictures. Floridians wake up to this deadly destruction of Milton. Some people were trapped, and they are still um, in the rescue mode there. But it came in as a category 3, and it didn't do the maximum amount of damage that it could have done. But look at those pictures, cars that are submerged in water. Yeah. And daylight has, it's just been a couple of hours maybe, so that the damage can be surveyed. But they expect it to be in the hundreds of millions of dollars. So let me just tell you what is the latest, just in general. Milton's damage, Israel's Iran vote. So we are still learning the extent of the damage caused by Hurricane Milton. As the storm exits from Florida this morning, the latest CPI figures show inflation is back to where it was before the pandemic. An Israeli official says the country's security cabinet will vote today on its response to Iran's ballistic missile attack. There are already worries about the presidential transition in January. Plus, a tennis great has announced his retirement from the game. All right, so what is going on with this weather? Hurricane Milton made a landfall near Siesta, Florida, or Siesta Key, Florida, as a dangerous Cat 3 storm and weakened to a Category 1 as it cut through the state and moved offshore. This, according to the National Hurricane Center, it is the 5th hurricane to make landfall in the U.S. this year. Milton has dropped about 16 inches of rain on St. Petersburg, representing a more than 1 in 1,000 year rainfall for the area. Milton's third hurricane to hit Florida this year has knocked out power for more than 3 million people in the state. Additionally, wind gusts of 100 miles per hour were recorded near Tampa, where a flash flood emergency was issued and emergency services have been halted. So, 7 minutes ago, Florida dodged worst case scenario. That is being reported by the FEMA director, whose name is Deanne Criswell, indicates the impact from Hurricane Milton could have been far worse, saying Thursday morning, Florida dodged the worst case scenario. What we know for sure is we avoided that worst case scenario that we were planning for, Criswell told CNN's Kate Baldwin. But the fact that they prepared for the worst really made sure that they were able to respond to the impacts that they have experienced. And the biggest ones right now are the tornadoes that have been reported across the state. However, that does not mean the state will not need resources, said Criswell, whose agency has also been responding to the devastation wrought throughout the southeast just weeks ago by Hurricane Helene. But Florida will not need the level of responses that perhaps we could have needed. Criswell also said she saw a decrease of misinformation in the wake of Milton making landfall. Quoting, as we look from Hurricane Helene, we had such great support from governors and congressional members, local leaders really helping to push back on that misinformation. We did see a decrease, even though there were still some voices out there trying to spread lies, which is really unfortunate. Also, at least 3 airports in Milton's path of destruction will remain shuttered to passengers as officials investigate how much damage. So you've got the Tampa International Airport, St. Pete, Clearwater, and at Orlando International Airport. Emergency crews remained on site overnight, and the damage assessment will start taking place now. Once the information becomes available about specific time that commercial operations will resume, we'll be sure to post about it. All right, what else is in the news? Again, lots of pictures showing some of the damage. Look at this one. That's the Tropicana field roof that was just shredded by the hurricane. And now on your left, the election day in the US is now 25 days away. And to your right, D for Danielle court response countdown. The clock is ticking. 4 days, 10 hours, and 15 seconds. Let's now turn. Hang on, guys. I'm looking at another news feed. Let's take it from here. So, the latest on the 2024 Presidential campaign this morning. Again, the final sprint with less than a month until Election Day. Former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris are racing to make their final pitches to voters as the battle for the White House remains exceedingly tight. I mentioned that yesterday, and of course, with this hurricane, has passed through the majority of the state. The federal response to the latest storms have become a major flashpoint. However, as I just reported, some of the misinformation has subsided, we can say. All right. Pro Trump advertisers launch a wave of new ads targeting Harris over transgender policies. Pro Trump outside groups added to a flood of ads targeting Vice Presidential Kamala Harris this week, launching a wave of new spots covering a range of issues, including transgender policies. This is a growing point of emphasis in Republican advertising. Preserve America, a leading pro Trump super PAC that has received millions from mega donor Miriam Elderson, went up Wednesday with a pair of spots that included criticism of Harris for expressing support for taxpayer funded gender transition surgeries for detained immigrants and federal prisoners during her 2020 presidential campaign. I slow it down right there because that's quite a bit. If it's true, if it's true, what would you think about that? It's certainly controversial on the Republican side. Again, this pro Trump super PAC criticism of Harris for expressing support for taxpayer funded gender transition surgeries. Who for? Detained immigrants, federal prisoners during 2020 presidential campaign. With high inflation, working families like mine are hurting, and Kamala Harris helped create this mess. This was said by a Wisconsin voter featured in one of the ads. Now, while Americans struggle, Kamala spent our tax dollars putting illegal immigrants up in hotel rooms, and she supported spending our tax dollars to give illegals sex changes. It's not just liberal, it's insane. This is again is coming from one of those um, persons in the ads. Other leading pro Trump outside groups have also ramped up their advertising about LGBTQ rights targeting Harris. MAGA Incorporated, the super PAC that has spent the most money supporting Trump's 2024 campaign, launched an ad Tuesday that said Kamala will give criminal illegal aliens taxpayer funded transgender surgeries, then adding, crazy liberal Kamala is for they, them, President Trump is for you. Well, I'm sure that the Harris campaign is certainly going to be launching their own ad. Now I hear, okay, launching their own advertisements. By the way, 33 minutes ago, Harris launches the latest ad aimed at crossover voters, slamming Trump's disaster relief record. Kamala Harris' presidential campaign went up Thursday with the latest in a series of TV ads aimed at undercutting favorable impressions of Donald Trump's first term in office and winning over Republican voters. The new ad features several former Trump administration officials slamming his leadership and personal conduct, including harsh criticisms of Trump's approach to disaster relief as the current hurricane season impacts 2024 campaign. Quoting, "Never in a million years did I ever think that I'd be working in the White House with a president that didn't care about the American people." This said by Olivia Troy, a former Trump administration national security official featured in the ad. "I remember one time after a wildfire in California, he wouldn't send relief because it was a Democratic state. So we went as far as looking up how many votes he got in those impacted areas to show him. These are people who voted for you. This isn't normal, right? I worked in the Trump administration," says Kevin Carroll, another official featured in the ad. He would suggest not giving disaster relief to states that hadn't voted for him. That's quite revealing. If that's true, you mean the former president said he wouldn't give states funding for disaster relief if they hadn't voted for him? So, this is a response that the Harris ad campaign launched just now. The ad includes several clips of controversial moments from Trump's administration as it dealt with hurricanes, including footage of Trump tossing paper towel rolls to victims of a hurricane in Puerto Rico in 2017. Do you remember that? I remember seeing that video, that clip, and images of a map that Trump altered with a Sharpie marker intended to indicate the track of Hurricane Dorian in 2019. The ad first began airing this morning in Georgia, among the states severely impacted by Hurricane Helene earlier this month. It's the latest in a series of ads from the Harris campaign that feature critical former Trump administration officials and other anti Trump Republicans as the campaign makes a concerted push for crossover voters. So, what do you think about those two? Let me see if I can get you back here. Fair use commentary. Let's switch it up just a bit. Just a bit. I know. All right, so I'm showing it. What of it? We'll get back to that. Good morning. Let me come out and say hello to some of you. You can email me right now at unwindwithteddy@gmail.com as we either take some of your comments, I read them, give some commentary, or, from time to time, I will drop the link if you should want to express, something that we are speaking about here during our broadcasts. Shout out to my moderators, Vicky Black and Baby Juju. Prayer hands going up. I see that for those in Florida. So Jennifer sending love to all those affected by Milton and those still being affected by Helene. Good morning. to you. And Mimi Twin says, good morning, Teddy and Mob, listening while working. I know it's crazy. Email me. There's the email. You can see it. We are live right now on Instagram, X, Facebook. I haven't made Station Head live just yet. I may do that during the broadcast. We're about, I'll say, almost 26 minutes in. Again, I don't expect that this broadcast will go any longer than 10:30. You might hear some of the noise in the background. It's something that I certainly cannot avoid, and that's why I'll be cutting my broadcast short. But we'll get in at least, I think, 45 minutes um, this morning. So yeah, the clock is ticking. It all goes down. It all goes down. Well, not all of it, but a date is rapidly approaching. No faster than 24 hours in the day. October the 15th is the deadline for a response to the courts. How do I want to say this? So I've been receiving some feedback from various people. Um, some feedback on the channel that I've just launched. Yes. Some of you are telling me you've already subscribed. I appreciate that. That's Rip Running Receipts. I've also been receiving maybe some ideas of how I might approach it, because some people are thinking they're going to miss out on an important or a receipt that they wanted to see. Okay. One idea, yes, subscribe to Rip Runners, because I would want to make it unique, not the same as anything that you see on Run Tell That Too. Okay. It specifically serves a purpose that could evolve, but it's receipts. That's really it. With again, this is one idea. I could post a video that features what the receipt is going to be about. Okay. Then I could make the receipt available, and I could give like a window of when it would be available. Like not a long time. Okay. All right. And then I show it so that you know something is coming up. That's one of the ways. A second way is to simply use the channel to do the same. Talk about the receipt, and I can post it to a social media. That way you can just go there, look at it, or listen to it. There are other ideas. All right. This is more so for the people who have, you know, You know who you are. You've been around. Some people are new. They have either some idea or they could be trolls who are coming to um, take pictures or, a screenshot. Screenshotting something won't be anything you can't strike. My purpose for creating that channel was to be able to talk about or show receipts without them being struck. That's the purpose. That's the purpose. Now, again, many of my videos are down and many things I haven't shown. And now knowing that all are going to be all under attack, I don't want to risk that. I mentioned it last night. I'm done with this strike situation. Now, some of you are going to say, and I've said it too, Danielle can strike my channel she can just strike it. Well, how is that going to stop the strikes? How is she going to be able to strike my channel, for example, with what I'm doing right now? She can't strike my conversation, not mine's, my voice. She can't. And as to the news, I am looking at something. I won't say what that is because I don't want to give it away. But something that will also insulate the news broadcast that I want to deliver. It's so funny. And I could show the receipt of when Down the Rabbit Hole news. Yeah, so that would be like a kind of receipt. Told me that was 2022 when my channel Unwind with Teddy first went down. I didn't know that she was linked at the hip with uh, Danny Robertson. But Black Rabbit told me, she said, Teddy, and I'm paraphrasing, but I can show you this. Teddy, why don't you do this? Why don't you head in a different direction? Forget about Danny. That's right. She said, just forget about her. Why don't you stick to doing the news and music? That's the way you started. People love music. There's, always news to report. And now look at this. Black Rabbit, the very friend of yours who you can't control, who you said you don't know, has posts that she's going to be striking my news. That indicates to me that she is looking for anything to cripple my channels. That's unfair, but life isn't fair. How do you respond to that? She has no right to. news. And she said she's in touch with and will be in touch with other news organizations. This is why I am working on putting some things into place to insulate even my news. This is why I'm reading right now, just showing a picture. But it's so ironic and so hypocritical of Danielle Robertson to be showing news. She had a picture of Trump up. She had people in devastated areas, vehicles driving through them. It angers me because she wasn't reporting on news. And now, everything that I have done, she wants to try to incorporate into her channel while trying to suppress my voice. It's outrageous. It's outrageous. How am I supposed to feel? How am I supposed to think? How am I supposed to move if I can't show receipts without being under the threat of being falsely struck here on this platform, barring just simply shutting my channels down? That's giving up. That's being defeat. That's winning for her. So I must think of ways or give up the idea altogether. You tell me how you would approach it. I'm consulting with someone to find that out. I do not want to be handcuffed by an anonymous cyberbully, a fraud, an impersonator, an instigator, a copycat, a liar, and there could be more descriptors. That's why I'm sharing, because it's frustrating. That's why I made the channel. If I can think of the way to deliver to the majority of people those things without interference from Danielle Robertson, that would be a win. That should tell anyone out there in my audience that I'm not playing a game, that I want her identity known because I want her to be held accountable. Yeah. And so I felt a need to just say that this morning, to give some more understanding, perhaps around why that channel. What would you do? You can tell me. What would you do? You can email me suggestions, comments, questions, ideas, contacts. I am hoping that it will fall on the sound of someone's ear. Finally, I'm looking for solutions to an end to this, to a pathway to an end to this. So if you have a better idea, you have a suggestion, go ahead. I'm open. I'm open to the possibility. Okay. I have attacks on all fronts coming at me every day. Every day. And I could come on this channel and I could announce this is my last broadcast. I could. But that would succumb. And that would play right in to her hand. I am determined to see this through until I know there are no other resources available to fight, to fight, to fight against this evil. If there is no way out of it, and I know that, that's when I stop. If you know a better way, again, if you have an idea, if you have resources that you could put me in touch with, okay, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. It's 10:28. Make sure to check all notifications. Keep a pie. Good morning. Don't let her win, Teddy. Thanks to everyone. No. For supporting Unwind Teddy and the truth. Love wins. You haven't changed your position on that. No. Baby Juju says, I wonder if you have the receipt of CNN when she copied the 5 things and said it was hers. I do. I do have that. That's, thank you for remembering that. Let me see if I can make a copy of it right now. When she tried to deliver the 5 things. Hold on. That's what I'm talking about. Ideas, things that you have heard in the past, things that you would want, receipts that you haven't heard. Let me just make a quick copy. What is the first receipt? You know what I thought about? How about her website? You know, I was on her website for some time before she blocked me. Yeah, I'm letting her know right now. How about some of that website? Mm, 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 mm. How about we could rip a receipt, so I'm giving you like a heads up and some ideas. How about, y'all want to see all of her tweets? Mm, mm. Oh boy, there's some in there with everybody who was a part of the tweet. Yeah. Not just any tweet. Mm-mm. Yeah, I want to see who the dirty 40 is. You see, that's the kind of receipt. What do I want to do first? What would have the most significant impact, or just showing them? Just, one by one, whatever they are. Thank you for that suggestion, baby Juju. I made a quick copy of it. Again, what would you do? What would you do if none of this was the target of being struck? I could post it and leave it up on YouTube. What would you do? She's trying to control evidence, receipts to show who she is, expose her. Mhm. Without me having to say, that's a gift, or that's on one of those apps where it's no copyright. That's exhausting. Yeah. What would you do? You can send me an email. Okay, so you just say, all right, just forget it all. I could do that and go back to my channels whenever they open. But then what am I going to do? I already have in mind, by the way, something I want to do if I get on Wine with Teddy back. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just what would you do? That's all. Show all the people that she doxed in 2021, just page by page. Not dox them, but just show what she did. None of that was shown. Show all the conversations of the panelists, all those receipts pulled down, all about the team. What? Show the sites that she created, the fake pages, and how she posts links to the corn and brag. You know, she has that posted on her website. Until she blocked me, I had pictures. I have pictures, evidence of things she posted to her website. Hmm. Even the one she had before this one. Hmm. Fake pages, fake channels. What do you want to see? If you're not interested in it, nah, okay, don't watch. Do you want to hear her phone conversation that she made to a jail that she posts? Not for anyone's ears, but certain others. What do you want to know? This person needs to be exposed. She's hurting my channel. Plural. What would you do? I'm open. You tell me. If you know an attorney, I have one, expensive, that wants to take a separate pro bono case. If you know. If you know an agency, a support group that is specific to cyberbullying, and maybe they have resources or connections, let me know. Mhm. I want it to change. I want it to end. I want resolution. And I've said the only way that I see closure to this is her being exposed, because she said she's going to come after me. She's going to torment me for the rest of my life. If anyone thinks that I'm with Daniel Robertson to create a hoax, it's not a day in this world that I would do that. I have a professional license. Go look it up. Who would do that? You mean to tell me I would team up with Daniel Robertson and put together a plan and a plot with her to send in 5 complaints against my medical license and then pay attorneys thousands of dollars to defend me against a bogus PPO hearing? You think I would consort with someone like that. You think whoever thinks that way, whatever is being spread, whatever is being said as any fake narrative against me, I will never in this life ever line up with someone like that. I want her caught, exposed. I have already put skin into the game. Maybe there's something that could have been done differently, but this was all new. Hindsight is 2020. Hindsight is 2020. I see. Wait a minute. I said I was going to be. Hang on for 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Let's see if I can extend just for a few more minutes. Hang on, guys. Hold on. Okay. Let's Let's do this. I see some comments over on Instagram. Shout out to Facebook. Let's see what's going on X. Okay. Just going to read some of these comments, and I might even read something from Instagram. Lovewind says, wait a minute, let's go back, up, real quick. Who is Miss Prissy? I don't care about what you say, Miss Prissy. No. What you don't understand is you weren't around. And Miss Prissy, you are probably somebody who is coming in disguise. Yeah, okay. Let me just move on to the next comment. Lovewind says, that is crazy. She attacked your license and posted fake porn. You are not working with that demon seed. No, I'm not. And yes, baby Juju, Miss Prissy, Teddy has been attacked for years, way before Kimmy. But I'm not here to compare. I support Kimmy. How many times I'm going to say that? This is not going to be a match between Kimmy and I. We're headed for the same destination. Okay. And I'm discussing receipts. This is my channel. If she wasn't so pressed, why would she respond? Maybe she's Daniel Robertson, who received that summons and complaint. Is that what it is, Miss Prissy? Are you making a decision? You could be her. I don't know. If you are you going to respond to the complaint? Are you going to file a motion? Or are you going to run and hope that you're going to get away? Is that what it is? Take your chances. Be in default. Okay. I thought Danielle said something about a paper trail. Documentation, that's what she's created. A lot of false documents about me. Well, how about some true documents about what she's in? Maybe that will help to support her intent. And maybe, just maybe, I have something. But you see, it's not prematurity. The timing and the purpose has to be right. Essence, good morning. You can speak candidly. You think many of us want closure for you and others. You're saying you don't trust Kimmy to go beyond taking her channel. I don't know what I can't get into her mind. I can't speak for her. I don't know what would satisfy um, her, as if default judgment would happen. I haven't had those discussions. I don't know what would do it for her. I don't. Taking her channel for me would not, for me, would not be enough. That would be significant in terms of her voice on YouTube. But ultimately, I want her identity. I would want that more, I think, if I'm just off the cuff, more than her channels. Because having a channel and having her identity, if somebody gave me a choice today, I'm just being honest. If someone said, Teddy, there's two things. Danielle keeps her channel, but you know her identity. Or Danielle loses her channel and you never know her identity. The choice for me is obvious where my priorities are. So now I'm just speaking for me, if that makes sense. She won't stop until she's forced to. She won't stop until she's exposed. Level the playing field. She's a menace. Level the playing field. Because it's one thing to still be on YouTube and still be doing your dirt against me and target, but she's targeting me in real life. That's the part that people don't understand. Okay. And I said, I applaud. I gave a, applaud. Not a patronizing applaud, but an applaud to Kimmy. I said I support Kimmy. I do. If that doesn't square with other people or they see that as aligning with the exact same ideas, no. I said we're on two separate tracks heading for the same destination. I don't know if that destination is her final destination. I don't know that. I won't know that until it happens. I know what my intent is. I don't know everyone's intent, but I absolutely support her pursuit of justice. Essence. Kimmy is doing uh, amazing and needed, but as a viewer, you're speaking. You say, I know that once her channels are gone, that could be the end without justice. How can we be sure she is held accountable criminally? Exposing her identity and filing. There's something that I'm waiting for. Uh-huh. Because it is criminal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. By the way, someone on Instagram says you can hire a private eye for a couple of $100. You mean for the hour? Okay. I'm just a couple $100. You mean just like for 1 hour or something? Great idea. But I just quantify it for me. Yes, someone who writes. Asking a question: did she impersonate someone to strike my channel who worked for the news station? Yes. Yes. Just like she impersonated Miss Sabet. When it comes from a news organization, like if you put CNN, something like that, I don't know if YouTube just kind of looks at that and just says, okay, wait your 90 days. The strike will go away, in 90 days. But if you get so many of those strikes, if you get 3 strikes, if I got 3 strikes from a news organization, and you see my channel is paused right now. I'm working on going back and forth. Then you lose your channel. Danielle Robertson says she doesn't have any limits. She'll be anyone she wants to be, any hour of the day, any day of the week, any week of the year. So, what would you do? Who do you know? I'm open. She's dangerous. I think so, yes. I haven't thought about Jaguar Essence. I hope Jag has made a formal report and submitted all her evidence to the judge to prove the level of stalking and harassment she has endured in connection to the troll farm and robot. Danielle Robertson is her initial purpose for, getting into the Jaguar, to take over the story, to make it, to clout chase off of Jaguar Wright, as she claims people clout chase off of her. And now that Pierce Morgan has interviewed Jaguar Wright and she's getting much more visibility, a lot more questions, Danielle Robertson is going to cling even more so to Jaguar Wright. Jaguar Wright, I'm certain, can take care of her business. While she may agree with certain people, I guarantee you, if Jaguar is truthful about what she's been saying, if she's not in cahoots, I don't think she would be. I don't think so. She would be happy to know who Danielle Robertson is. She came to my channel because she said that I knew. That's when she first came to my channel. I didn't go to her. She came to me. Because I'm talking about it consistently since. Okay. 5 days away. That's what it is. We haven't even got to October the 15th. Can we get to the 15th so we can see how maybe she'll answer the complaint? Maybe she'll file a motion and somebody's legal attorney's name or something will be given, put into the documents, into the case. If she runs, that's her. You've got to remember, there's still no response to something that could have been debunked 2 years ago. Yeah. What is this? I'm trying to figure out where are all of the pitchforks when we were talking about SoulCycle. I really wasn't even following it with the SoulCycle. I don't know. Everyone scattered like roaches. So Essence says, since, you mean since the Kimmy filed the lawsuit, or give me a time when you think that happened. Can't make up a criminal charges. They have to be real. But I know you're not saying that. If it's criminal, yeah, gotta get there. There are things that a business linked to the Delaware registered agent, if she flees, the Delaware registered agent is obligated to report. When the movement, she shuts down, they have to report information. They obtain information on everyone who, agrees for them to be a registered agent. So that registered agent has information too. Yeah. What is this? Jackie. Oh, yeah, that's Jaguar. Lovewind says, does the same thing, though, but she was harassed and stalked even while in the mental hospital and jail. Yes, I remember seeing some thumbnails about that. Also, one of the reasons I know, because here's why I know she's a clout chaser too. Just last week, whenever I took a snapshot of the number of videos that she had available up on her main channel, it was like in the 200 range, and I have a picture of that. Now it's over 400 overnight. She made a lot of that Jaguar stuff available again. She thought she'd sneak that in. No. I see what time it is. You're a cloud chaser. Just came after the Pierce Morgan interview. Well, she had made the videos. They're hers to take up, take down, put up. Why can't I do the same? They're Jaguars videos. You know, a lot of the content. I don't know. Love Win says that Diddler thought he would never be held accountable, and look where he is now. Yeah, he's a pretty high profile individual. But you're right. I need some type of something, Lord. Has anyone done anything that would inch us closer to her identity? I know that's what you're. Give me a specific something that would satisfy your curiosity right now. So I know. Like, what is the something that would demonstrate that's the something, and in quotes, is being done? Is the LLC in good standings? She's going to say she doesn't have an LLC. There are a lot of Daniel Robertsons. Mhm. A lot. But Delaware registered agent knows who this one is. Was there a picture ID, a government ID that was issued? Because Delaware um, registered agent, they have certain rules, legal, that, you know, when they were, when the marshals came a knocking and they accepted for Daniel Robertson was served. It's executed. That's what's in the history of documents. Executed. Marshals did their job. They executed the complaint and summons on Danielle Robertson that is linked to the Delaware registered agent in Dover, Delaware. Maybe people missed the receipts. I showed the receipts of her using Dover, Delaware as her registered agent. So is she going to say that's not her? Even Danielle speaking about it, before all of this pursuit? A a receipt of where she says she's going to get away with it? That's what I mean when I say receipts. Things that I've talked about. Now, let's hear it or let's see it. That's what I'm talking about when I say receipts. To document what I'm saying. It's a real receipt. Her saying such things and doing such things would go to her character and her intent. Okay. Okay, so something for me is if someone is tracking the paperwork we do have, such as LLC address and docs submitted to YouTube. I can tell you I have all my documents. Yeah. Everything I'm keeping track of that I have. Yes. Yes. The LLC address that she used multiple times. Yeah, I have pictures of that. I have a receipt of that through email from YouTube. Yeah, I do. I have a receipt. Donat has a receipt of her using the Delaware registered agent. That confirms my receipt. So both of us separate, not on the same strike, not on the same paperwork from YouTube. Donat, I'm just going to share one person. Donat has that receipt, the same one that I have, as far as address for Daniel Robertson, and Daniel Robertson responding to YouTube and Donat by email about the registered agent. So Daniel Robertson on this platform, whoever is behind the name, she was served. There are links to connect those dots, real documents to support her knowledge. So if she runs, those documents, if needed, could be put into evidence if they are subpoenaed or want to be included. You don't, it's not the cart before the horse. So are documents in place? Is something like that? Yes. It will go to her intent. Like the document I have, the video in her voice when she says, if she thinks she's going to be found out, she's going to disappear. That's a receipt. So when she disappears, if that's what happens, because it's getting closer, because she thinks she's getting ready to be found out, her words, not mine, her intent, not mine, it will show she thinks she's getting ready to get caught. That is close. A little close. She said she's going to run. Let's see. I don't know yet. Watch how she moves. I've said that. Why wouldn't I want to be interested? Why wouldn't I be interested in this case that Kimmy has, even though I'm not on the case? Part of the plaintiff. Why wouldn't I be interested in following this? Would it involve someone who I want the identity of? Why wouldn't I have a high interest, laser focused on it? I want to see how she moves. I want to see how she moves within the legal system. With the summons, her reaction to it. I want to see how Daniel Robertson moves. Yeah, that's going to say a lot. And yes, interesting questions. And now it's 11:15. I made a call while I had. Because this is important. I wouldn't spend this kind of time if it weren't. I have also said in videos, I'm not going to telegraph to Danielle Robertson everything that's going on. Not to her, not to anyone. That's just me. That's just me. Because you see what has happened with a little bit of information. She tries to get ahead of the game and build an argument and then laughs like a hyena behind it and boasts, you'll never find me. I'm Danny Montana. Everybody's a liar but her. And then the next day, she impersonates. No. Why would any. You mean you're trying to figure out essence? Again, there are people who listen and they don't watch. So they might be just on their phone, just listening. Maybe they're driving. They can't watch the camera and pay, close attention to traffic necessarily, depending, they could put the earbud in, but, I'll just say there might be someone who is listening while why I read the comment and who the comment is from. So Essence says, I'm trying to figure out why would anyone look for her after she's run. That's saying if it occurs, if she runs. Because justice is still not justice until she is held accountable and the mask and the veil be pulled down. That's why. It's not me. It's not me. I hope that, maybe it answered or maybe it didn't. That's the best that I can answer. Right. I mean, right now. Okay. As I see all these people sending emails in rapid succession, different people I've not seen before. I don't know. Okay. Okay. So I said I welcome suggestions, comments. Yeah. I said I'm open. I'm reading things. I'm reading your comments. Do I agree with everything everyone says? No. Are some of these ideas, is this conversation worth having for me? Yeah, because I asked for it. the conversation, the dialogue. Yeah. I said, what would you do? That's when I asked for it, a response. So, for all of you who are responding, thank you. I appreciate that. Annette jumps in here right at the end when we're getting ready to say goodbye. Says, I'll throw it up. What is the role of a CEO of any company? Would it be to protect the image of said company? Neil Mohan. He said that. To report and to the shareholders, who is probably the most significant, because if the share price is going up, that means the company is doing well, right? Or at least in line with making a profit, to show profit. Give you some response in bullet points, not the explanation, but 6 bullet points. 7. Let's see, I'm just looking up something. Okay. So, in general, I'm going to read 10 bullet points. CEO responsibilities in general. Chief Executive Office, highest ranking executive in a company, responsible for its overall success and making high level strategic decisions. So, without breaking each one down, key responsibility: 1, setting the vision and strategy; 2, leadership and management; 3, financial performance; 4, decision making; 5, stakeholder management; 6, risk management; 7, board of directors collaboration; 8, operational oversight; 9, talent management; and 10, corporate social responsibility. Now we can dig into each of those maybe later tonight, but that would be an outline to the responsibility of a or role of a CEO. But in short, protect the image. And that's in a nutshell. All of that would go to image. I think you're saying, Annette and or Neil Mohan. Okay. That's going to do it for me. It's 11:24. Again, biggest bear hugs go out to all the Grizzlies. Please hit the like on your way out. You can email me at unwindwithteddy@gmail.com. Put in the questions, comments. You have suggestions about what we talked about uh, this morning, or anything else. Yeah, I appreciate you. But now it's time to say goodbye for the morning. I hope you have a great Thursday. Thanks for watching. Until next time, and to my moderators, thank you. I'm Teddy. Have a good day.
네가 나에게 어디가 그렇게 좋냐고 물어보면 난 이렇게 대답할래 내게 10번의 기회가 있다고 나에게 얼른 해가 2번 아니 3번 뜰 때까지 너의 옆에 Come close to me baby just like a dream yeah 이런 맘정이야 I wanna know everything about you 살짝 몰래 내게 입 맞추면 You make me go crazy all the little things you do You're my teddy bear teddy bear 나는 사랑과 내게 주를 좋아 You're my teddy bear teddy bear 뜨거운 너의 품 나는 원해 너의 눈 The sweetest It might be too early to say But I found the love of my life, my life 너도 나와 같은 맘인걸 The way you make me feel is gonna change the way I used to be 잊혀질 환상일까 두려워하는 나의 손을 잡아줄 거란 뜻을 알아 Baby take my hand You're my teddy bear, teddy bear 나는 사랑과 내게 줘도 좋아 You're my teddy bear, teddy bear 뜨거운 너의 품 나는 원해 너의 눈 The sweet You're my teddy bear, my teddy bear 이대로 시간이 멈춘데도 좋아 You're my teddy bear, my teddy bear 뜨거운 너의 품 나만 원해 너의 눈